All right, let's just jump right in. What if I told you that some of the most powerful medicine out there isn't in a pharmacy at all? That it's actually growing wild in ditches, in abandoned lots, and yeah, maybe even in the cracks of your own sidewalk. We're talking about plants our grandparents knew by heart, forgotten remedies that have been healing people for literally thousands of years.
I mean, just think about that for a second. It's a pretty powerful idea, right? We're so used to running to the drugstore for every little cut, cough, and ache. But what if a whole world of effective, evidence backed medicine was just waiting to be rediscovered, literally right at our feet?
And this really breaks it down, doesn't it? On one side, you've got our modern system, pills, prescriptions, and it can get really expensive. But on the other side, you have nature's pharmacy. It's accessible, it's free, and it's incredibly effective, using whole plants that have been our partners in health forever. So today, let's take a walk down nature's aisles. First up, let's build ourselves a natural first aid kit. We're talking about the absolute essentials for all those everyday bumps and scrapes that usually have us digging through a messy cabinet for some cream and a plastic bandage.
Okay, so think about the most common stuff, right? A stinging paper cut, a scraped knee from a clumsy moment, or, oh my gosh, that mosquito bite that you just cannot stop itching. Well, there's one amazing plant that handles all three, and I'd bet money it's within 10 feet of you right now.
Say hello to Plantain. And nope, not the banana. This is that humble, low-growing weeds you probably walked over a million times without a second thought. In fact, some Native American tribes called it white man's footprint because it seemed to pop up everywhere settlers went. Its real power is how fast you can use it. You just crush a fresh leaf, or even chew it up a little, to make a quick poultice and slap it right onto a cut, sting, or bite. And modern science totally backs this up. It's loaded with compounds that heal wounds, calm inflammation, and fight off germs. It's the emergency bandage that grows everywhere. Okay, but what about a cut that's a bit more stubborn? You know, the kind that just keeps on bleeding and makes a simple accident feel way more dramatic than it needs to be. This is where Yarrow comes in, and its story is just incredible. Its scientific name, Achillean millefolium, is said to come from the mythical Greek warrior Achilles, who supposedly used it to treat his soldiers' wounds on the battlefield. And here's why it's so special. Yarrow is a hemostatic, which is just a fancy way of saying it stops bleeding fast. But it's also a vulnerary, which means it helps the wound heal and prevents infection. See, most plants do one or the other. Yarrow does both, making it an absolute powerhouse for any natural first aid kit. All right, let's move to the next aisle in our backyard pharmacy, the respiratory section. Forget those brightly colored syrups. Nature has some serious heavy hitters when it comes to lung health. You know the feeling. We've all been there. That deep, rattling cough and chest congestion that just will not let go, leaving you feeling completely drained. So here we have two amazing options. First up is mullein, that tall plant with the big, fuzzy, almost velvet-like leaves you see along roadsides. It's an amazing expectorant, which means it helps your lungs do what they're already trying to do, get all that gunk out. Then you've got white horehound, which was so famous for soothing throats that it was the main ingredient in the original cough drops. The real magic here is that these plants help your cough become more productive to clear the infection. That's totally different from modern suppressants that just quiet the symptom without fixing the problem. Now, exploring this world is incredibly empowering. It really is. But with all this amazing power growing all around us, there comes a really, really important responsibility. So before you even think about trying any of this, we need to talk about safety, because your knowledge is your absolute best protection. These 3 golden rules are totally non-negotiable. Number 1, you must be 100% certain of what plant you're looking at, not 99%. If there is any doubt, there is no doubt. You leave it alone, period. 2, know the entire plant, including its potential dangers. A great example is comfrey. It's fantastic for sprains and bruises on the skin, but it can be toxic if you take it internally. Natural does not automatically mean safe. And 3, always test a tiny bit on your skin first to check for any allergic reactions before you use more. Be smart about this. Be safe. Let's finish up with one last example that to me just perfectly captures the pure genius of plant medicine and why rediscovering all this stuff is so important. So this beautiful plant is called meadowsweet. It contains compounds called salicylates, which is what aspirin was first synthesized from. But here's the mind-blowing part. Unlike aspirin, which is famous for tearing up your stomach, meadowsweet has been used for centuries to soothe stomach inflammation while also relieving pain. The plant itself has other compounds that act as buffers to protect the stomach lining. We thought we were so clever. We isolated one compound, made it in a lab, and completely lost the beautiful, holistic balance of the original plant. It's just a perfect example of nature's incredible design.
So the big takeaway here is really about empowerment, the ability to heal minor problems, to soothe pain, and to support your body's health might not require a trip to the store. That knowledge, that power, is all around us. It's waiting in our lawns, our parks, and our wild spaces.
So, if you found this valuable, and if you're maybe starting to see just how much healing power has been hiding in plain sight this whole time, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It really helps this explainer find more people who need to see it. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe and join our community. We're all about reconnecting with this kind of powerful, practical knowledge.
I'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time you're walking down the street and you see a plant pushing its way up through the concrete, are you just going to see a weed that needs to be pulled? Or are you going to see a powerful possibility just waiting to be understood?